Hi everybody, my name's Danny and today I wanted to give you a tour of our garden. We've planted our garden about a month ago. Today is June 11th and I wanted to show you what's in our garden, how big everything is, and give you an idea of how we do things in our garden that you might be able to use in your garden. And I wanted to show you what we planted this year. So let me show you. So this is our garden. This is the start of our garden. We've got raspberries on this end, and then I will take you all the way down here. Right here is our row of raspberries. We planted Canby raspberries this year, and as you can see, there are 4 plants in the ground. These will eventually grow and should fill up that entire area. Eventually we want to do some blackberries behind, but for this year we're starting our raspberry patch. Next, we have our tomatoes, and as you can see, we've got these poles, and on the poles, if you can see, we have this wire. What we do with our tomatoes is as they're growing, we weave them up that trellis there, and that's our support system for our tomatoes. We currently have 10 tomatoes. We have 2 slicing varieties. One is a striped German and the other is called Black Prince, and those are our absolute favorites. We also have a Sun Gold tomato right here in front. It's our cherry tomato. It's the best tasting cherry tomato, and we really enjoy it. And the rest we are using to can. So right here is our green bean and carrot bed. You can see we've got green beans coming up in the back here. We had some green beans that didn't come up. We have a lot of squirrels in our backyard who like to steal seeds, so I replanted those green beans earlier this week. And then this very front row are carrots. And I've honestly never done carrots, so you can see their cute little heads popping up right there. So I'm excited to do those for the first time. They're supposed to be super easy. And under this bed right here, we've dug down pretty far to kind of keep the dirt loose. It's supposed to allow the carrots to get bigger and longer. And so we're giving that a try this year, and I'll let you know how that turns out. Next in our bed, this is kind of our squash and vining area. Throughout the growing season, we will put grass clippings on top of our garden to keep down weeds. As you can see, there's weeds popping up, but it keeps the bulk of them down. Makes our job a little bit easier. But we've got this is zucchini and then crookneck squash. Back there we're doing a pumpkin. That gets nice and big, so we gave it lots of room back there so it can kind of sprawl. And then this little guy right here is a cantaloupe, and I've only grown cantaloupe one other time, and I was never very successful at picking them at the right time, so this is kind of an experiment for this year. And honestly, we just want to see if it's worth it to dedicate this much space in our garden to a cantaloupe. So it's a little experiment. We'll see how that turns out. So this right here is my absolute favorite row in our garden. These are my cut flowers for the house. So I will have to look up this variety right here and this variety right here. But this back row, I planted 12 dahlias, and I've been planting them every year for the past 10 years. And I've had a lot of success with them, and I'm just so excited to show you when they pop up. They're my absolute favorite thing about summer, or one of my favorite things, and I love to have fresh cut garden flowers. So next, we didn't have room in our vining area, which is right here. We didn't have room for this guy, which is our cucumber plant. So he's right there, and I believe it's an English cucumber. And then next, I'll show you these 2 garden boxes. So we planted strawberries this year for the first time in this house. We've been in this house for about a year, and we planted strawberries in these boxes. And look how happy they are. These little strawberry plants right here. But you can see these plants right here, those are not weeds. We plant onions in between all of our strawberries. So If I remember correctly, this box is a variety of sweet white onions, or possibly yellow onions. I will let you know when they get bigger. I don't remember which one we did. And then in this box, this is all red onions. So I'm really excited for those to pop out, and I love to come out here in the garden and grab an onion whenever I need it. And you can also tell right here, that's a little volunteer lettuce. I had lettuce in both of these beds I plant lettuce in them in spring and fall last year, so that's a little volunteer lettuce this year. And since my strawberries aren't very big, I am just letting that go, so I can use it before it bolts when it gets super duper hot. And then in this bed, you can see this big guy is a red butterleaf lettuce. Again, it was a volunteer this year, and I'm actually pulling that and gonna use that today for taco salad at my mom's house. So that's gonna be really exciting when those strawberries spread. We thought about pinching off all of the strawberries this year so that the strawberries can really focus on spreading out this year and getting bigger, but instead my husband wanted to be able to show our children how strawberries grow. So we opted for that, and that's kind of fun to show them, and they're pretty excited when we've got a red one out here. So super fun. In the back, we have several things going on here. We have all of these. You see all these little plants? These are all peppers. So we have some red and green peppers. I do not remember the varieties. And back here we have some jalapenos. We have a couple jalapenos. And we have over here, we've got some lunchbox peppers. Those are the little orange and red and yellow small little peppers that are sweet that you're seeing in the grocery stores right now. And they're super fun and super yummy to have in our garden. These, if I pull the tag here, yep, they're called Guernica. It's a Basque pepper. We usually grow choricero peppers, and we wait till they mature and get red, and then my husband will smoke them, and we dry them, and we use them as a super yummy spice in the kitchen. So I'm very excited to try a new Basque pepper and see how that turns out. It's supposed to do about the same thing and have a very similar flavor. In the back, I've got 3 or so poblano peppers. I believe 1, 2, 3 poblano peppers. I really like to do chili rellenos in the summer, so I'm super excited about that. And then back here, if you can see, these are basil plants. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 basil plants. And I actually have just pruned all of those so that I can get them to bush out this year, so I can have a much bigger harvest. And I might do a video to show you how I prune those. So we did asparagus for the first time last year, and they're just coming up again, but you're not supposed to harvest them for the first couple of years. So it's kind of hard to see them there. It's this kind of ferny, leafy guy. But I'm excited to hopefully get a nice patch going out here. So from our asparagus, we've got, here's our basil again. And then we have 1, 2 eggplants, and these are called Orient Express. They get nice and long and skinny, and they're perfect for stir fries. So those are delicious. And then back here I have 1, 2 rows where Preston added some drip line there so that I could seed out some flowers. I've never done just annual cut flowers from seeds, so I'm really excited for those to come up. So moving right along, let me get you turned around. This big guy is sage. We did it, it's a perennial. We planted it last year, and it was about this big. And then we just let it winter over, and then this spring it got big and huge and beautiful, and so now I'm thinking I need 3 or 4 of those in my garden. Underneath here this drip line. These are all beets, and to tell you the truth, I don't love fresh beets, but I tell myself every year I'm an adult and I need to try them, so I'm gonna give them another try. I do like pickled beets, so if anything else, I will just pickle them and can them. So I hope you've enjoyed the tour of my garden, and I hope to give you updates throughout the growing season so that you can see how my plants are doing, and I can give you an idea of how we fertilize them and our routine in the garden. I also thought it might be fun to update you on how we use our garden in the kitchen and how we plan to feed our family with the garden. So, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.